my name is Michael Heenis, and I am a sophomore mechanical engineering student at the Milwaukee School of Engineering. I have a deep interest in space and space technology, and that's why I'm presenting this today. I also look forward to learning as much as I can in the future, and being a part of the next generation of scientists and inventors. Now I actually have two photographs here. One is an artist concept of the Kennedy Space Center's space launch vehicles and launch pad that were under development at the time. The other I did find on the NASA archives, but then when I checked later, after the website was updated, I couldn't find it again. However, I'm going to show that as well because the two work together to convey a similar theme I have.
Alright, here's my first one. Alright, this is a photo from an article on the NASA website from December 6, 2011. It is an artist concept of the Kennedy Space Center's space launch systems. Here's a little context for you. The 21st Century Ground Systems Program is a big step for NASA and Kennedy in that it is set up to accommodate a number of rockets with new technologies and parcel out the center's extensive array of facilities to several users. Launchpad 39B is envisioned as a site that could see a liftoff of a Space Launch Systems super rocket on one week, and Atlas V the next, and a private rocket the week after that. Alright, now let's just break this picture down into all the different parts, because as you can see there are 5 rockets, 2 capsules, a space shuttle, a suborbital plane, 3 planes, an asteroid, Mars, the Kennedy Center, and the moon. As you can see, alright, left to right on the rockets, there's a Saturn B1, a Titan IV, a Delta IV, an Atlas V, and a Saturn V. Alright, as you know, the Saturn V was the rocket that took the Apollo 11 mission to the moon. The Saturn 1B was used in the earlier stages of the Apollo mission, and the Titan, Delta, and Atlas have all had their share of transporting people and satellites outside of the Earth. Alright, now that suborbital plane up there, I don't know exactly what it is, but it looks a lot like an X-Core Lynx, which is a suborbital plane contracted by NASA. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, then we have 2 capsules there, probably both Apollo mission capsules. There's a space shuttle in the lower left-hand corner. Alright, then out in the distance we have the moon, an asteroid, and Mars. And surrounding those are stars in the blackness of space. Now here's where you need to read in a bit and where I'll tie in my second picture. My interpretation of this is to show not only what can be done at the Kennedy, but why it should be done there. What the main goal of this all is, that 39B can launch anything, anywhere. That's the point being seen here. The asteroid, moon, and Mars are all targets for these pieces of technology. Each rocket, shuttle, and capsule has a destination, and all of these targets are paired to these vehicles. This again is the idea being depicted. Kennedy is a hub for all space launch systems. From the moon to Mars, all targets are reachable. For 39B, anything is possible. A Saturn V, Atlas V, or SpaceX's Falcon Heavy. This is a space center that can be adapted to work for anything, because it is the dream of humanity to reach the unreachable. Alright, on to the next one. This is a breathtaking image of the Space Station Freedom by Alan Chinchar in 1991. Now I did find this on the NASA website a few weeks ago, but then they updated it. I don't know if they changed their algorithm for searching, or they cut the database, or didn't get linked somewhere. But it's not there now, but although I'm going to use it anyway because it's a great image and it really helps push this theme I have. Alright, here's a little context for you. Space Station Freedom was a precursor to the now orbiting International Space Station. In January 1984, President Ronald Reagan directed NASA to build an orbiting platform for the advancement of human knowledge. Though Freedom never got off the ground, many design proposals were implemented on the ISS. Alright, now this image is a little less technical and a little more artistic, as you can see. So I'll go into a little more detail here. While the initial focal point is the Space Station Freedom, my focal point is the dark space in the background. This repeated darkness casts a shadow on everything that mankind has achieved up to this point in history, and furthermore symbolizes how little can be reached in space. First, humanity conquered Earth. That's why the perspective is so close. That's the beginning of this journey, and as such is the closest object in the picture. Earth is then used as a horizon line that starts the stream of light that illuminates the rest of the picture. The next step is the space shuttle, which is heading directly down the line of celestial bodies. It is very small compared to the celestial bodies and the space station, And because humanity is growing, it is still very small. Although it has left Earth, it is still very small compared to the rest of the picture, another action that expresses the magnitude of the space station. The front of the shuttle is facing toward the vertical line and other objects that have yet to be reached. The space station Freedom then orbits the Earth, acting as a stepping stone for future travel. It would be a hub for the regulation of things going in and out of space. It is covered in solar panels that are used to bring power to the station, but is also used to symbolize what is needed to be built. All the technology and work that had to be made and sent into space is itself an astronomical achievement. The station is aligned horizontally across the center of the picture, which makes it the focal point and a stepping stone for humanity. Orbiting around the Earth is the Moon, and landing on it was one of the largest achievements in history up to that point, and many people in the United States still felt that patriotism from just a few short years prior. The Moon is positioned under Mars and in the light of the stars. This is a repeated theme used to symbolize the closest and farthest things in reach. The contrast of the space is used to convey what is more known and what is still left to explore. The darker the space, the less known. The lighter the space, the more observable. The Moon's position creates a contrast in light between the lighter space and its dark shape. That allows it to be an ocular bridge along the vertical path from the station to Mars. The perspective of Mars' size, being smaller, shows how far away it is, even though it is rather large in comparison to the rest of the objects in the picture. Mars is shown off in the distance and contrasts the brighter space in front of it. Mars was and is the near hope of space travel, and is shown here as a challenge to be met. Only a small sliver of the planet is seen, while the other part is shrouded in darkness. The space station Freedom is just another step toward Mars, and another step for humanity expanding its influence out into the universe. Alright, now I'll put both of them up here to compare them side by side, and you can see some similar themes across each of them, and some similar objects as well. The darkness of the universe is seen by the darkness of space just outside Mars in both pictures. This is done to show the difference between which parts of space were observable and which were not. The contrast and repetition of the dark spaces expresses the freedom to explore by presenting open opportunity. All the details drift upward as the picture gets darker and darker. This is showing the repetition of unknown opportunity in the universe. The stars in the distance somewhat model the shape of the Milky Way in one picture. This theme shows how little is known by humanity and how little influence humanity has in the universe. There are billions of stars in the universe, and humanity is just starting to explore the nearest one. I just adore this art and hope that such freedoms are always open for the exploration of the future. This freedom to explore can be felt by the insignificance and vastness of the unknown universe. That is a view that I hold in very high regards and helps me understand what is being seen here. What has been achieved can be dwarfed so easily by the unknown just outside of reach. I see every step in both of these pictures as hopeful and realistic goals in the pursuit of knowledge in the universe. With Mars at the end, it makes me wonder what else could come from the darkness. With the exploration of other planets, the scientific opportunities and learning experiences are endless. These pictures highlight the hope in the future of space travel and humanity's survival after the end of Earth. The freedom to explore will always be a driving force for humanity and will lead to many more exciting discoveries and accomplishments in the future. Both of these images share similar elements. Starting from Earth and working upward, we find ourselves exploring new places, reaching new targets. As the eyes drift upward, one can see the beauty of the universe as its possibility unravels. In the Freedom picture, what looks to be a part of the Milky Way illuminates the scene, but as you go away from the center of the frame, the uncertainty of space ensues as the light of the stars fade. A similar idea can be applied to the Kennedy-centered picture, where each target in space is a stepping stone in humanity's journey through our solar system. These two pictures really allow me to look into the thoughts of the authors and sit next to them while we all think and dream of the future. To explore the solar system is one of the many goals of NASA, and the combination of these two gorgeous photographs. I'll just end on this. We are standing on the shoulder of giants. It may be a cliche, but it's true. The people in our history who have dedicated their lives to forwarding science, humanity, and space travel have given us a huge start on our goal of reaching Mars and beyond. Now I have no idea how many people will see this, but I strongly encourage anyone, no matter your age, beliefs, race, political opinions, geological location, or self-determined intelligence, no matter who you are, learn, use the internet, use your sources, go to the library, go to the NASA website, and learn, read. Then once you have, pass on that information. And through this cycle, who knows what we can achieve. It is difficult to say what is impossible, for the dream of yesterday is the hope of today and the reality of tomorrow. Robert Hutchings Goddard. Mankind will not be tied to the earth forever. Konstantin Edwardovich Kozlowski. That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. Neil Armstrong. NASA is an engine and innovation of inspiration as well as the world's premier space exploration agency, and we are all well served by politicians working to keep it that way, instead of turning it into a mere jobs program, or worse, cutting its budget. Bill Nye. NASA's vision, to reach for new heights and reveal the unknown so that what we do and learn will benefit all of humankind.